This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Listen, what I want to see is that everybody's on the same page. You didn't have a team on the same page. How are you going? Okay, so if you get married, okay, are you going to get married to the man or woman that you fight with all the time and you're constantly breaking up and you're constantly disrespecting each other and all of that? Do you think that that's going to be a marriage that's going to work on a long-term basis? No, of course not. So if you partner up with somebody and then all of a sudden you start noticing that your business philosophies are a little different and this person's a little bit more loose with the cash and irresponsible, and yet you're trying to be a little bit more frugal and smart and trying to invest in certain areas to help the business move forward, where your partner is spending and wasting money in areas that are not producing and you're constantly fighting about it. Is that going to be productive? No. So that's kind of what this whole thing is all about, is that you haven't had a productive relationship. And so now you've got to find a person that is not going to change their philosophies, that they're actually going to follow through on what they say. So when you sit down and agree on something, it actually goes through. And the Dolphins were set for failure because you had a head coach that had his own agenda outside of the personnel department. And by the way, just guess, do you think that Flo just went against Greer's decisions? Or do you think some of those decisions came from Marvin Allen or Reggie McKenzie that Greer said, yeah, that's a good idea, let's go with that, and then someone else cockblocked it? Nobody ever tells you that, right? Nobody else around mentions that because they only mention Chris Greer because, of course, he's the general manager. He has to take all the heat for everything that went on. For the failures of Flo, Greer has to take the heat. But, it's those three guys. That decision came from those three guys, not anybody else. And listen, let me get a little personal because I got a little personal yesterday with my friend. The international black man called me yesterday and we were talking and I explained this to him. And I said, do you know how much it pains three black men to have to fire their brother, a fellow black coach? Because remember I talked about this a while back, that this is a historical thing that could mean a lot for the NFL and for the black community in the NFL, because black coaches don't get enough opportunities, yet they dominate as assistant coaches and scouts and players. It's predominantly black. And yet we don't see enough head coaches that are black, which is baffling when a ton of coaches, assistant coaches, and scouts are black. But yet we don't see enough general managers and head coaches. So don't you think that Reggie McKenzie and Marvin Allen and Chris Greer, it pains them to have to do this? Because personally for them, this meant a lot. And I'm sure they didn't hire Flo because he's also black. That has nothing to do with it. They thought it was going to work. They thought he was the right guy. So don't kid yourselves. This is a tough decision. Maybe they wanted to do it last year. Anybody ever think about that? And they tried to hang on. And I would not be surprised if they were thinking about it last year and they said, you know what? Maybe he'll change, maybe he'll adjust, maybe things will get better, and probably it didn't. Maybe it got worse. So don't forget that the stuff that went on behind the scenes, this is a really, really tough decision for the people that had to make it, because it really could have gone a long way for the black community in the NFL. And now it's not working out, and that's not a good look for them. And so now you've got to go find a coach. And it doesn't matter who it is. White, black, green, yellow, who cares? Get the right coach. But you cannot have people that are not working together because there always has to be compromise. You compromise with your wife or husband. You compromise with your kids. You compromise with partners in your business. You compromise with your friends. Always. We're going to be in New York for 4 days. Okay? Am I going to just say, hey, we're going to go eat this, we're going to go eat this, we're going to go eat this, and not ask Sean anything? No, I'm going to say, yo, what are you in the mood for? All right, no, I feel like eating barbecue, steak, chicken, whatever. All right, let's go. You know what I mean? It's compromise. I can't assume that he's going to want to eat everywhere I want to eat. It's kind of part of a relationship, dude.
This is the